Hello, everybody, and welcome to Girl, Let's Agree to Disagree. We are your hosts, Jessica and Hannah. Kemi is running just a little bit behind. She will be here with us. She'll just kind of jump right in. So before we talk about this episode of The Bachelorette, make sure that you click like, subscribe, click to receive notifications. If you don't, share this with a friend. Let them know we do Bachelorette recaps every Tuesday, 10 to 15 minutes after the hour. We're just running just a little bit behind. How's everybody doing? Tell us in the comments. Let us know. Also, Super Chat's a great way to support the channel. Don't forget to also follow us on all of our IG social media handles. Hey, Hannah, girl, what's up?
Hello. I am just thinking about this episode. Lots of thoughts. How are you? I like all the plant babies behind you.
I know. I just started realizing that I've gotten quite a collection back here.
It looks good.
I thank you. I started with one, killed it, then got another one, killed that one. And then like third time's a charm, it started growing, and then I just kept on collecting them little by little. And as long as I keep them for about 3 months and they don't die, I give myself a new one. And now I have a little forest a little rainforest in the back.
You know you can find ones that are like unkillable. Like you can do a lot to them before they will die. Those are the ones that I keep.
Yes, I do have. When my first one died, I got very discouraged and ended up getting the unkillable one. And I was like, okay, well, the unkillable meaning the plastic one. And then I got an actual real plant that is really, really, really hard to kill. And I was like, if this one dies, then I have no hope. And I haven't killed that one yet. But
Well, it seems like they're doing well.
they're
behind you.
thriving. Yes, I'm excited about it. So much so that I think I don't think I'll have a Christmas tree up. I think I'm just gonna decorate my look at your face. Okay, look, I have so many plants that now even having a Christmas tree, I mean, I'd have to show you. I'll show you in pictures, but I don't feel like my house would look right with the Christmas tree because of how tropical it looks. So I got myself a pre-lit palm tree and I'm gonna decorate it. So it's
That's
a little
cute.
weird. It's a little weird, a little kooky like me. So that's my Christmas thing. For those of y'all who someone mentioned where Kemi was. Yeah, Kemi's on her way. She's running a bit behind. She had something she had to take care of. But let's get into it. Yeah, tell me now that we're talking about just the episode as a whole, let's just give it a rating. I know, yes, last week we all rated the episode between an 8 and a 9. What would you say this episode was?
Don't come for me. I think this episode is like a 5 at best.
Wow. Well, we have anybody in the chat, let us know what you think in terms of like on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give this as a whole? And we'll get down to, I'm sure, why Hannah gave it a 5.
And the only reason it's that high is the last 10 minutes.
Wow. So you were going to give it an even lower rating?
Probably.
You weren't feeling it. I have to say I'm going to give it, you know what? I was pretty low too. I'm going to give it a 6.5. I really am, because I was just, there were some things I don't know. It kind of gave me slow vibes.
We'll talk about it. We need to go from like front to end to explain, because there's different moments for me. Like, it was not a roller coaster in that there were highs and lows, but it was like a little, like the kid roller coaster where it's all pretty low, and then there might just be like one little bump, and that was it.
One little wee, and that's it.
I mean, that was it. That's the best way to describe it.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, we can start, we already know coming into the episode, we're not going to have the Peter drama. We're not going to have the JAIME drama. We come in, everybody's pretty happy with each other, and we go, we figure out that there's going to be two one-on-ones and a group date. And so the first one-on-one is Martin. I personally, he's so cute to me. I don't know.
I think he's cute. Like, he's a good looking dude. I fell asleep. I thought this was, I woke up like 3 minutes later. It was a commercial break, and I was like, oh God, what did I miss? What happened?
How so early? You must have been either really tired or really bored. Which one was it?
Both.
Oh,
it was a mixture of both. I don't know. I just like, to me, this date wasn't exciting, and I like, it's not really like the date itself. I think it was just like the two of them. I just don't see it. I don't know.
I kind of don't feel it either.
It's nothing wrong with him. I just don't see it together. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't feel like there's a lot of chemistry, and like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I fell asleep. Like, that's all there really is to say. I didn't feel like there was nothing bad, but there was nothing amazing either.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a lackluster. It was very lackluster. I mean, I think when you have a date where it's race cars like that, I mean, that's pretty much the entertainment, right? Because like, what are you gonna see? I mean, I know some people love to see, I mean, it's a whole damn sport, right?
Yeah.
So I know
but
that
it's a sport that I've never watched, so I don't really care to watch it here.
Yeah, and it's not. Yeah, I like that Michelle is, that girl. She's into doing like really cool things. She's very sporty and fun and flirty. I mean, I love everything about that. Yeah, but I didn't really feel it much either, at least with them. And I think that, yeah, I think Deborah says agree. They seem like cool friends. I really wasn't feeling the vibe. I know that one of the things that really disappointed me was the fact that, he decided he wanted to talk about JAIME, about another man in their conversation, and that I didn't really understand. I didn't really care for it, because I feel like, I don't know. I like men. And the thing is that, so I don't know if people really agree or disagree with this comment, but like, men are very gossipy. I don't think that I don't like, we get all the bad rep of like being gossip queens, but I feel like men do a lot more of that.
They do. They just don't consider it to be gossip. It is. And like, here's the thing. I'm pro gossip. I think gossiping is
fun.
a healthy thing sometimes. I don't think it shouldn't always be demonized. But yeah, like, I do think that we, especially as women, get the reputation for it, and it is seen as like a negative thing, and they definitely do their fair share of it. And I think the men on this season, there's just like, it's like when one is removed, whichever one is stirring the pot is removed, another one arises and is like, I am the next supreme. It's my time. It's my time to shine. I don't know.
And it's true. Like sometimes men gossip a hell of a lot. I mean, the thing is that they call it locker room talk. It's kind of disguised as this, we're just talking amongst men. And I mean, but you're doing basically the same exact shit. You're like, you're talking about people. And of course, they're going to do it more so in this environment, because that's all they're around. They're around each other. Michelle is in there a sliver of a time. So I don't know if maybe he felt, I mean, and she does feel like she gives these men the impression that she's kind of like one of the guys. I feel like she's
that is a point. Okay, that's something I want to touch on when we get to the group date. But like, to end out Martin's date, like, they do that, And then, like, to me, their conversation is lackluster. Like, I don't feel like there's any immediate energy, spark, anything like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with him, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't either. And I think as she talks, she did make it known that she didn't like how he was presenting certain situations, and that she
Mhm.
like, I guess the way he explained it, right, was like, I didn't care for his explanation either. It was not so much of a, oh, I'm sorry, I won't do that. It's like, well, this is how I was taught, and,
Yeah.
it was just kind of like, not really taking ownership. Yeah, of course. We're taught a lot of different things in life, but that's not
Mhm.
a good enough excuse as to why you're doing it. But I mean, to Michelle, one of the things that is getting, and I love Michelle. Let me preface by saying that I do love her. It's getting really old, this whole like, I really love how you were vulnerable in opening up to me, and opened up and maybe that's a bachelorette thing. It's always about
Yeah.
how he was vulnerable, how he opened up. I love that you're opening up to me. I'm giving you this rose because you're opening up to me. Like, I really wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's too early on for her to not give a rose on a one-on-one, that.
Yeah, I think that some bachelorettes take a different approach. I think some bachelorettes, like, you see them take people on one-on-ones or whatever, and they take the approach of, "Well, I don't have this immediate spark or connection with you," and once they've been able to feel it out on a one-on-one, then if it's not there, then they're kind of done. Like, we've seen that with other bachelorettes in the past where they're like, "You know what? I can't give you this rose, like, it's not anything wrong or etcetera, but I don't feel it." And then there's some that I think are more of the approach of, well, like, you didn't do anything wrong. You opened up to me and were vulnerable to me. And so, like, unless there was a red flag, I'm going to keep you for
Yeah.
2 to 4 more weeks. And I
Yeah.
think that to me, this feels like, I mean, obviously, no one can know this except for Michelle, but to me, this feels like that kind of instance where, like, this probably isn't your husband, but he did everything you asked.
Yeah.
He opened up and, you had a fun time. So why not? I don't know.
Exactly. No, I
Which
get
I'm
I
not
get
saying
that.
there's, like, right or wrong, and, like, there's not a right or wrong approach, but to me, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Actually, I felt very much like that last week with Rodney's, though you felt a
I
little
don't agree with
different.
that.
You don't agree with that.
No.
That's how I felt about Rodney's date last week. And I was just like, okay, she's just giving him this rose to be nice. I can kind of see how that was the case with Martin
Yeah.
this week. Yeah, so I mean, and the cute thing was, well, at least that they were kissing under the stars. First of all, I love planetariums. I love the
Yeah, that's
whole, the
cute.
under the stars thing. That's like one of the most romantic things. And the fact that they could not make that romantic for me was a big red flag. I was just like,
I know.
they're under the stars and kissing and making out under the stars, and I'm not feeling anything.
Mhm.
So yes, so then we go into this really weird group date. How weird was this?
It was just I think this is the point to me when I texted you guys and I was like, "This episode is weird." Like,
Yeah.
I don't like when they do on The Bachelor, when they do the lingerie, boxing, whatever shit, like, I guess this is good, like, equality, whatever, same I equally don't like it on this, like, I just
You
think it's
realize oh yeah, I
annoying.
don't like it with the girls, and I definitely don't like it with the guys.
Yeah, I don't like it either way. I don't think it's a fun thing, and, like, this is where the vibe starts to get weird with Michelle too, and, like, this is what I was gonna point out in what you were saying earlier about how the guys are very gossipy or whatever, and I feel like they're just, like, having their own time.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they're just vibing, they're having a good time, and they see Michelle as like you said, they see Michelle as one of them, and it's kind of like that, like, when you're with your friends or just, like, people that you're super comfortable with, you I don't think that you always have it on your mind to be like, "Oh, I need to check in and, like, make sure this person feels special at this
Yeah.
moment. I need to check in and make sure that they, like, have, you know, their needs met at that
Yeah.
moment because it's just like your buddies. And I feel like that's where this comes to play, and I feel like that's where these insecurities on her end are coming out because she's been perceived as that girl in the past, and she's like, "Wait a damn minute, why are you guys just, like, having your bros day?" And I'm just, like,
Yeah.
"Here." And it
It
was
was a
so
bros
I
day.
felt so
But
bad for her, but it was so uncomfortable too, like, ugh, it was
But let
just
me
too
tell
much.
you, like, what would you expect if you have men in masks and their feet in like getting pedicures and their feet in like those pedicure tubs? Like, how much of the I'm gonna go talk to Michelle vibe are you going to get? This was like the I didn't get it too much, and here's the thing, I think because Michelle and, Deborah said it, she's a laid back girl. I totally get it.
Yeah,
It's kind of on
which
point
is not a
for
bad
it's
thing
not a
at
bad
all.
thing. Not a bad thing at all. I get it. She's a laid back girl. This is kind of like a twist, a cute little twist on like the slumber party where most of the time women are sexualized in their PJs. And it's very far away from Claire's date a couple seasons ago
Yeah.
where where the men were literally like completely naked, like, and running around. I forgot what it was, like where they
Yeah,
lost
that
their
was a whole
shorts.
other problem.
Yeah, that's kind of on the complete opposite end, right?
Mhm.
The only problem with this one was it was just like, okay, teddy bears, all of this stuff. Um, do you feel that it was in her right? Was she right to get mad at what was happening? Because I feel like she this was the environment that was created. I think she wanted, maybe ABC wanted like a sexy time, like this maybe type of sexy fight, and of course, Michelle is laid back, but she's also a teacher, and there's children that are probably watching her episode. She's like, I'm not gonna, do anything that's gonna be too overboard. So I want to make everybody comfortable, and in a way, made everybody too comfortable. Like the guy is way too comfortable.
You know what? I think she is in her right because I don't think this is like an isolated event. I feel like in the past 3 Bachelorette seasons with Michelle, Tayshia, and Claire, there have been moments whether I thought it was valid or not, there have been moments where each of those leads has been like, "I feel like you guys are not interested in me. Like, I feel like you guys are here to do your own thing. You're not worried about me." Whereas I feel like there have been seasons in the past with Hannah, Rachel, JoJo, other women in years past where every single date they're on, these guys are like groveling over them and like pushing themselves in front of other guys to try to get even a word in. And I feel like we don't see that as much on these recent seasons. Like, I feel like these dudes, I don't know if it has to do with social media. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that, we're not getting guys who maybe are as invested and they don't know the girl and are like as interested in the girl
Yeah.
before they get on there. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's always a handful of guys who are genuinely in the past couple seasons who are genuinely interested in the lead, and the rest of them are just there to have a good time.
Yeah.
And so
And
I
I
think she's
agree with that.
right. Like, I think she's totally right.
I agree with you. I think that, and this is a big production issue. This is a big casting issue
Yeah.
um because you're right. Within the past three, and not to exclude Katie's, because I feel like out of
I forgot
all
about
of
Katie,
those,
never
yeah,
mind.
y'all forgot about Katie, really, or wanted to, but those four, like, that's where you have the most, like, bromance type of male. Like, all of the males had ended up leaving with major bromances,
Yes,
like,
you literally get guys from those seasons who go on Bachelor in Paradise and bro it out the whole time and just leave together because they're
yeah.
like, "Eh, why not?" That I
Exactly.
that is who they are, like,
It's
that is the
like,
reason they're
yeah,
doing this.
they're not even there. They're not even there for the lead. They're there to find their
Mm-mm.
bro. They're there to find their bro so that they can bro it up, so that they can get the massive amount of Instagram followers, so that they can go on Bachelor in Paradise and have a broy bromance, like a Brendan and a Dr. Joe, or or what this guy Aaron and whoever, and Jason, whatever his name is, from this last
Mm,
Bachelor in Paradise. It's just like, whoa, this is just getting a little ridiculous. So I
yeah,
get it. I get that. I was actually very surprised that nobody like went up to her. Like, that's just
I
like
know.
prime moment for someone to just swoop in, grab her, maybe, grab her by the waist, like, say she looks cute, maybe give her a teddy bear, play with, like, I'm just like completely dumbfounded as to why
Yeah,
nobody was
and I
dealing with
can't
this.
imagine how, like, in a lead position, like, they feel it too, like, if we're noticing like, what I'm saying is I feel like it's obvious that there are only a handful of guys who are very genuinely interested in her.
Hmm.
It's gotta be obvious to her too. So I'm like, when I hear her, like, have these thoughts and this paranoia of,
Yeah.
like, "Are these guys genuinely here for me?" It makes sense. Like, that's probably what she like, the vibe that she's getting the whole time this is filming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But I'm just wondering, like, these men, are they not picking up on this body language?
No.
I was just like, she didn't look happy at all. She was not
Mm-mm.
happy, not one moment in that
No.
in and then I don't know what happened. It almost looked like, as soon as the Bella twins came in, it was just more about, like, wow, we're gonna do this, and, like, we're watching these, I mean, like, come on, the Bella twins, out of all the wrestlers in the world, you're gonna get, you know, the well, in that franchise, two of, like, the sexiest and most popular of all of the divas.
Yeah.
It's so odd. Seriously.
Yeah, it was odd. I hate these parts where they, like, fight. I don't know, I just don't I used to think I liked it, like, years ago when I watched, I'd be like, "Ooh, yes, fight it out." But now I'm
Yeah.
just like, "This is boring." I just don't yeah. I understand why she felt annoyed, and I also find it crazy that even throughout this part, no one caught on to this.
Yeah.
And I'm just, like, kind of over the producer antics of making, like, the guys that have beef fight each other, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I just don't think it's, like, super entertaining,
Yeah.
and I feel like we do this date every time.
Yeah,
I don't
even though
know.
we've never had have we ever had a teddy bear fight in I'm pretty sure we haven't, right? Within the history of The Bachelorette.
It's some
Mm.
variation of this anytime, like, they get in a
Yeah.
wrestling or boxing ring and bam, like, that's
Yeah.
it. I don't know, it's old to me,
I will
and
I will say though, I was eyeing Leroy's PJs because those silk pajamas were just everything.
oh,
Those,
yeah. A lot of them looked really cute. They did.
yeah. I was just like, I want those PJs. Like, he had those black silky PJs with the pink flowers. I was like, that's something I would wear.
My favorite part of this date, and I think the only saving grace of this date, was when all 3 of the women see Kate or not Katie, Michelle and the host see Olu in his like, take his shirt off, and they were just like I could just see the wheels turning in, Caitlin and Tayshia's head, like, I feel like Tayshia's like, "You have a man, like, look away." And
Like,
they
look
were
the
like
other way. Yeah,
it was so funny.
yeah, O's ripped. That man is ripped. And he got the first, not the first, but he got the date rose, which I was very happy, and I think that Michelle does such a great job at talking like about her feelings in such a way where she's not making anybody like she's not accusatory, she's not
Mhm.
rude. I could just imagine something like this to like in on Clear season. It actually happened on Clear season, and
Yeah.
she made such a stink about it, like yelled at everybody and probably production as well. I don't even know, but she it was just so far off from that. Like she just truly was so amazing at expressing her feelings. And I was very surprised that Olu was crying.
I thought that was really sweet, and it felt really genuine. I mean, he was talking about, he has sisters and, like, women in his
Yeah.
life who he knows have felt this way, and, yeah, I thought it was really genuine of him, and I feel like Michelle could feel that as well, and to me, that's, like, a sign of a good partner is that they are sad when you are sad. They feel these emotions because you feel that way, and I feel like she picked up on that, is that like, "Oh, he's not pissed off because, like, the night is ruined or, like, the vibe is off or whatever, he's, like, upset because I'm feeling upset."
Yeah.
And yeah.
Was there anybody that when she said that, like, was there anybody that you looked at kind of like expecting a different reaction?
Um, I can't really remember. I feel like maybe I was, like, hoping for a little bit more from Nate, like, I was like, "Come on." I really like his, like, laid back energy and vibe or whatever, but then in these kind of moments, I'm reminded, like, okay, this is why sometimes people don't like men with this, like, laid back, cool dude energy because he's just sitting there and he's not concerned about this, like, outwardly. He may
Yeah.
be on the inside, he is, like, torn up about this, but outwardly, he does not seem super concerned that this is, like, how she's felt all day long, and it doesn't seem like he's, like, itching to do anything about it.
Not at all. I was just like, what's that stupid look on his face? And I like Nate. I mean,
I
he's kind of
know.
one of the front runners here, but at the same time, I'm like, why is he looking at her so dumbfounded? Like she's talking, and he just had the most blank expression on his face. And I'm
I
like,
know.
it
Mhm.
was just so crazy to me. So then obviously we go into the second or the last date, which was with Rick. How did we feel about that?
I think he is sweet.
Was this the
I
This wasn't the wee moment. We'll talk about the wee moment after. This was still we're still on the kiddie ride, right? We're still pretty much
yeah,
on
we're
this.
still
It's still
on
going like
that.
this.
And, like, that's not to undercut, like, the importance of the things that he talked about, like, I think that they had, like, important conversations, and he's, like, sharing a lot of, like, personal things about his life that
Yes.
are really serious, and, like, he seems like a genuine guy and really, like, sweet. But this to me goes along with what we are saying earlier is that, like, to me, it's not enough for you to just share, like, a life story or, like, something traumatic that's gone on. Like, I don't mean to undermine how, like, hard that is to do in general, much less on a national television show. But, like, I don't see I didn't see a spark between her and either of the people that she was on these one-on-ones with today. Like, to
No.
just like a natural spark in that way. I just didn't get that feeling. I think this one was better, but to me, it still just didn't feel like I don't know, I just felt like something was off with it. It just didn't feel natural to me
No,
in
I
that
agree.
way. Like, I think he seems like a really sweet guy. He's amazing, she's amazing in their own ways. I didn't I didn't see it. I don't know.
Yeah, and this is just one of those dates that it's one of those great dates to really connect with someone because I mean,
Yeah.
wow, you're in nature, you're experiencing all of this great stuff. You're probably on this high from going, so high up. The whole like read other people's wishes and then create your own. That's so romantic.
Yeah, that's really sweet, and I think that's an easy way, like, it's an easy way to talk about things and to get, go deeper into your connection and your relationship. But yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm just curious, out of these three dates, which one would you say was the best date?
The last one.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
we're gonna go there. I would probably agree with you. Um,
because I
so
think she felt the best about that one. I feel like
yeah,
she felt the best coming out of that one.
yeah,
So, I feel like that just, like, automatically has to be it.
yeah.
So
So now I think we're going to the we part.
yeah, this is the part of the little kiddie ride where it goes
We're gonna go on that little hill, the
and
little roller
then down.
coaster hill.
Well, yeah, it's
Um,
like when you're ending and it's going down to the part where you're gonna, like, get off and it's just like, "Woo," and then flat. So
so yeah, so we're cocktail hour. We
yes.
already know that Chris S, who just became, I guess, the new villain. We talked about him last week because we knew he was going to be like the new villain. We don't know how long he's going to be the villain for, but we also know right now that he ended up getting a rose. But prior to getting the rose, he decided that he wanted to call out all of the men that didn't see Michelle, even though he was on that date. In my opinion, I thought, well, you're also part of the problem because she felt like that
Mhm.
the whole way through.
Yeah. I thought this was really slimy. I hate when they do these things, like, I hate when they do these, like, big, like, general statements for the group
I hate that
or,
too.
like,
Oh,
because of the group. It's always super cringy to me, and it's always, like, super self-righteous. At any time it happens, I feel like it's always somebody who's just being an asshole.
so douchebaggy. It was very, very douchebaggy. It was also like, oh wow, just make the uncomfortable moment that she already like was through with and make it more uncomfortable. It's just it was so off.
And to me, like, up until this episode, like, he really hadn't Chris S. really hadn't got a lot of screen time, and to me, he just kind of looked like he gave me, like, frat dude vibes, but this episode, I got really, like, slimy, used used cards that don't work salesman
not
vibe.
not the used car salesman.
I just yeah, like
That's
the I don't
hilarious.
know, not a normal one, like a one from the dad from Matilda who's, like, changing the mileage, the odometer and shit like that. Like, he
Um,
just I don't know, he just seems slimy to me.
so a little background on this Chris S because I was like, who is this dude? Because obviously, you don't. Right around this time is when you start to really notice, like, who are these men, right? Because now they're starting to, go off one by one. and unless you're making this big, stink. So
Mhm.
he's a commodities broker from West Hollywood. Now, I don't know, like you're a commodities broker from West Hollywood, and really
What the hell is that?
I don't know. If anybody knows what a commodities broker is, I mean, if he's a broker, I mean, I'm assuming that he maybe, gosh, I really
Let's
wish
look it
I
up.
knew. What is a commodities broker, people? And yes, Deborah says producers kept Chris S. Not Michelle, let's be real. I agree with you 1000%. She already had her men that she's like, I want to keep these. And of course, in Bachelor and Bachelorette style, they always keep the ones that are going to produce the drama.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
mhm.
Commodities broker, individual who executes orders to buy or sell commodity contracts on behalf of the client and charges them a commission. That answered nothing for me.
We should know this, y'all. We should know this. My eyes like a broke. I mean, I just know like with the brokers. I know like a broker in general, like when you're buying a house, like those type of brokers.
Yeah, I know what that is.
So I'm just thinking, but I'm thinking like commodities. It's like products. I
feel
don't
like
know.
it could be anything.
To be quite honest, since I don't
Seems
know
sketchy.
exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, the fact that I don't know what he does, but he's from West Hollywood screams that he's not about the cause and that he just wants to be either on Bachelor in Paradise or he wants he just wants the clout in my opinion.
I didn't like when he was talking to Nate. Okay, so I feel like this sorry, I do this. I like jump into
No, go for it.
random parts of the thing. But basically he does that whole little spiel and he's like, da, 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 the guys should have done this and this, whatever, even though he was on the date and he was part of the problem. Then Michelle takes him up and he essentially rats out Nate and says, well, Nate said like he has in the bag and he's gonna get a date. All of that stuff goes down. Of course, Nate then confronts him because that's the kind of man he is. I don't feel like he's like a behind your back kind of talker. He's just going to be like, all right, what's going on? This was to me, before I was just kind of like, I don't really like you, Chris S. You just aren't showing the best side of you in this moment. And then Nate's standing there talking to him and he was like, "Are you gonna put your hands on me?" And I was like, "Oh,
when he said that,
oof." I was like, "You," to me,
so
in that
douchey.
moment, so douchey, so out of touch. And like, to me, in that moment, I'm like, have you not listened to anything that Michelle has talked about on this season at all about her like experiences or anything? Like, how
No.
are you? I'm so, it makes me
Yeah.
so mad that he's still there. But like that whole situation, just like, I hate that this is like a running thing, I feel like, where the person who causes this like problems is confronted by someone else, and then the person who caused the problem in the first place is like, "Well, I'm not, like, keeping receipts, like, I can't tell you XYZ, da, 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 da," and it's like, "Well, you're the one that gave her the checkbook, so, like, what do you mean you're not keeping receipts?"
This
It's
was
just
legit just like a JAIME part 2. It's almost like he literally just took what JAIME said the previous week and like repeated it, because it's like, what are you talking about? You had this guy's name in your mouth. You literally said his name. You called all of these men out, said that there were men who were not here for the right reasons. And then all of a sudden you're going to say, well, I don't know, I'm not keeping receipts. Well, then why the hell are you saying this? Then why
You obviously
even?
are. you're just deflecting. You don't wanna have this confrontation. You probably
Exactly.
are not used to people in your real life, like, calling you out when you do something that's shady, and you don't know how to handle it and have a real conversation, so you're gonna be like, "I'm not trying to argue," or, "I'm not trying to whatever," and it's like, "Yeah, well, you can't use that cop out when you are the one who started the whole thing." Like, it just is
Yeah.
infuriating to me. It's so like, I know people throw around, like, gaslighting and stuff like that, but it just ugh, it really gives me that kind of feeling. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
know, for sure. I mean, this is and then wait, and how he was saying that Michelle um was, what was it? Was prying, or was just like is
Probing.
probing him, as if she really just needed to know a name, needed to know a name, needed to know a name. Like that's the way she maneuvers.
I
It's
feel like that's weird. Weird language to use. Hey now, I date a short
Christina.
king.
Wait, what are we considering short though? Like, I don't.
Oh, if he's like I'm not gonna give his height on the internet. I
we'll,
feel like
we'll
that's
talk
wrong, I
off.
don't know.
We'll talk offline about that. But I mean, like some people short, short for me might not be short for some people. Like if Kemi were here, she would say anybody under 6'5" is a short man, which we know is not true. So
Tammy's unrealistic, okay?
Kemi would always be like, yeah, if it's not, it's either 6'5" or bust, you know. So
Anyways,
so that's
this specific short man doesn't deserve to speak,
yes.
and I'm annoyed that he's being given the opportunity to do so next week.
Yeah, yep, yeah, 6'5". Oh wait, so let's get a
At
little
least five
Gregory.
nine. Yeah, to me,
Okay.
5'9" is not short to me. I
No,
don't
five
think
nine is
that's
not. I mean,
short.
I'm 5'9", but I
You're
have
not short.
no, I'm not a short girl. I'm not which is funny because Kemi is definitely shorter than me, and she would still think 5'9" is short. Kemi for sure would think 5'9". She would never. I mean, you would know she was in love with someone if she ended up bringing a boyfriend who's 5'9". You'd be like, oh, she's gonna marry him, because there's no way in hell that she would ever be with a man that was 5'9" unless she was like absolutely in love with him. But yeah, that's a
I
good
don't know.
national. I didn't know 5'9" was a national average for men.
Yeah, I believe that. That's lots of I think it's, like, less common for you to be 6 something. That's why any man who is 6 something puts it in their bio on, like, every dating app ever. They, like are like, "Make sure you know."
Exactly. I mean, yeah, I don't know why people over hype like height for
Height. I
in some
don't get it,
cases.
and I just don't understand it. I mean, to be honest, I think that well, like, most of the men I've ever dated are, like, I guess would be considered, like, average height or whatever, but, like, I don't know. I'm not, like I'm not, like, trying to, like, go like this anytime I'm, like, looking at you, so it doesn't really matter to me, but anyways,
Yeah.
it doesn't whatever. His problems are because he sucks. His
Yeah.
height is just, like, on top of that.
And Gregory makes sense because he does say like Nate is he's 6'8". I thought, yeah, he is 6'8". That's insane. He's so
Wow.
tall. But he doesn't really stand out, which would mean that the men on the show have to be pretty tall for someone who's 6'8" to not really stand out.
Well, Michelle's pretty tall, isn't she?
Yeah. I'm
I
sure
think
that's
she's fairly
probably.
tall, so it makes sense for her. Like, I'm saying this as someone who's, like, 5'3", so to me, it doesn't matter if someone's 6'5", because, like, whatever, but if you're already I mean, like, my other women in my family are, like, 5'11", so, obviously, you know, I mean, you can have somebody that's shorter than you, but most of the time, you want someone who is around your height or taller. So, of
Yeah.
course, all of these men are gonna be, like, 6 something. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And she's wearing heels every day, like
Yeah. That's the kicker. I mean, as long oh, they said Michelle Young is 5'9". Thanks, Bean. I didn't know that.
which
Yeah.
in heels is pretty tall, like
That's very tall. I mean, 5'9", no. Why am I saying it's very tall? I'm 5'9". I feel short as hell. Like,
you're tall.
but oh,
Sorry.
you want to know why? It was because I model for a living, and I was always told I was too short to do runway because you have to be 5'10". So to me, the height I wanted to be was 5'10" because I could never do runway. I mean, I've walked in New York Fashion Week, but it was only for a specific brand and for one specific show. Typically, like, they wouldn't pick me because I'm a shorter model.
Mhm.
So runway is not my thing. Mine is more just
Mhm.
catalog type stuff. And I was like, man, if I was just a little bit taller, a little bit taller. But of course, when I was like younger, I just wanted to be shorter because I was taller than everybody else. So yeah, I never quite whatever. But even if Michelle was 5'9", in heels, that's an easy 6 feet.
Yeah.
So it, it all
So
really just
makes
depends.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyways, the dude, Chris S, sucks, and this whole conversation is just annoying.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Look at that,
Yeah.
B-Bean with the stats. B-Bean with the stats. Thanks,
Wow, you
B-Bean.
do,
Matt
you know
James,
all of this.
6'5". Joe Coleman, 6'4". Colton Underwood, not to be mistaken for Clayton, is 6'3". Uh, so one of the things that now, we're kind of at the end. Michelle gives her roses. Will's gone. That was really weird, right? I was very
Yeah.
surprised that it was between Will and
Mhm.
um and Chris,
I was
and they gave it to
surprised by
Chris.
that. Yeah, I was surprised by that.
You kind of give, because I still feel like Will still would have given a little bit more of a show too. I feel like
Mhm.
he could have given some show,
Yeah,
you
I feel
know?
like we got some build up for him in the beginning, not of this episode, but of previous episodes, just for it to kind of go away. So that was
Exactly.
odd to
That
me.
was odd. And one of the things that I found odd as well, let me know if anybody in the chat agrees, or you, Hannah, this need for Clayton to just be a part of these diary rooms. Like, I can't wait until I get a one-on-one. He doesn't get the one-on-one. Wow. Big surprise. Like, even at the very end, they almost made it look like he was not going to get a rose.
And like, who would care at this point? Like, if we didn't know
Yeah, it
what
would be
we
like, "Who
know,
are you?" If we didn't know you were the next bachelor, who are you?
I truly do not understand this. Like, I don't know if this is going to be a situation of like, do you remember it was I believe it was Rachel Lindsay's season where it's Adam Gottschalk. I don't know how to say his last name, but he's married to Raven now. And this is Rachel
Oh,
Lindsay's season.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
we get to the final 4 and he's just like there, or like final 5 or whatever, and he's just there. And then everybody's like, "Who the hell is this? Like, where did he come from?" We know nothing about him at the time. I could have known his name. I could have known absolutely nothing. It's like those guys that make it to the final 4 or 5 and have like never even had a one-on-one date. And to me, I'm like, is that going to be one of these cases, or are we going to have like just total pivot in the season, like, where
Yeah,
we get, like because to me right now, it makes 0 sense, and sometimes, like sometimes there's people that are picked out of left field, like, I felt in the moment when Hannah Brown was picked after Colton's season, I felt like that was out of left field because at that time, she was someone who did not make it extremely far,
yeah, she was
but we
right before
still
hometowns.
she was still included continuously in the edit, and you saw her personality throughout, whereas I I don't see any of his personality in any event other than his confessionals at
Yeah,
all, and so it's weird to me, it's like the only person who knows that Clayton is there are the producers. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I think, this is it's just like one of those things. I'm like, man, this just seems very weird and forced. Very forced. Yeah, you like her. So does
Mhm.
everybody else. But it doesn't even seem like she has even has she even said hi to you? I feel like, has she talked to you at all? Does
They
she know
had
your
that
name?
little moment they had, like, a little moment last week at, like, a cocktail party, and you could see, like, kind of a little something there, but it wasn't major, and we didn't see anything this episode. Like, I feel like to me, any person who is normally making it to the final 4, there's it makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
the storyline is produced because this isn't live. This is happening after the fact, and this is being edited after they know how it ends. So to
absolutely.
me, I'm just like, "What?" Like, it makes no sense to me how this is going on. It's not like the producers are just, like, doing whatever they need to do and editing it however they need to edit it with what they know at the time. They know everything, and they know everything that
Yeah,
happens. So it's just confusing. I think it's a
yeah.
confusing edit for
I
viewers.
agreed 1,000%. I just want to give a shout out to Blue Bloom Pop. He says, I'm not good at socializing, so this is nice. Well, welcome. If this is your first time on the show, we do this every Tuesday. It's usually Hannah, myself, and Kemi, but unfortunately, Kemi, I think she probably got tied up in what she needed to do. I feel bad. Hopefully she's okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure she's
yeah,
good.
she's good. We'll make sure that she's caught up to speed. She had been texting us. She just couldn't make it. So yeah, it seems that it's everything is just so weird. I don't know if Clayton, if they're gonna give us an explanation. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll see it in the next few weeks. Who knows? Next week is gonna be interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I
Next
I
week
don't
is going to
know.
be interesting. I thought this was funny because it's like usually I crave for the Bachelorette and the Bachelor moments where it's like, okay, everybody. And this is what I thought she was going to say. It was like, okay, everybody, get ready because we're going to Mexico or we're going to Costa Rica or we're going to Australia. And she's like, get ready. We're going to Minneapolis. I'm like,
I love when they do this. I think it's hilarious, and it's happened before on, like, a previous season. I it makes sense right now because it's COVID, like, I get it. But I remember there was, like, 3 or 4 years ago, there was a season where they're going to, like, I don't know, it was, like, South Carolina, and it's, like, before COVID, like, there was no reason to go there, and this is someone from the saying this from the South, like, there's no reason to go to some random ass state, and they were like the girls didn't even pretend, they were just like, "Yay, woo," like
Great. Oh,
and I
Minneapolis. We can't wait to go to the mall. I'm sorry. I'm so
I'm
sorry if anybody is from Minneapolis. I did not mean that in that kind of way. I just think it's usually like
it's
so
just the
exotic. It's usually like the places they go to is more they're more exotic, they're more tropical, they're more romantic.
And it's stuff where, like, the contestants it's something that's, like, catchy, like, they know something about the place, like, to me, it's if you told me, like, "We're going to France," I'd be like, "Oh my god, we're gonna go to the Eiffel Tower, and we're gonna do all this
Absolutely.
whatever." But if you tell me, like, "We're going to Montana," I don't know anything about that. Like, what significance does that have to me? Like, it might be beautiful when we get there, but I'm not gonna be super excited about it beforehand because, like, what is it?
Yeah. This I don't know. I'm thinking
Oh, yeah, Joe's probably just like,
it
"Oh,
this
I'm
is
going
Joe's
home."
exactly. I'm going home. Awesome. This easy peasy. This is gonna be great. Um, I think okay, so I'm gonna go with conspiracy theories here, and I'm gonna say Michelle forgot to turn in her lesson plan and she forgot something. Oh, she had to go to school to set up her room for for the new school year, because now students have to go to school. So she's like, hey, everybody, we have to go to Minneapolis, production, everybody else. Let's go to Minneapolis. That way I can take a couple days to set up my room for school. And then the guys can just, in between, I'm just going to take them on some cool dates, like the roller coaster at the Mall of America.
I don't think so.
And you know what, baby? The Twin Cities are actually very nice. I've been to Minneapolis. There are a lot of people that are from Minneapolis, so definitely no hate there. I'm really just kind of just making fun a little bit, but I mean, I'm also from Chicago, and so I don't have to go to Minneapolis because I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, I've never been to Minnesota, so I have no idea. But yeah, to me, I think it's like, she was probably given, I don't know, maybe she's not given like an option of where they go. Like, I really have no idea how that part works. But yeah, I think your options are limited to the US. So early hometown?
I just think I know. Oh, exactly. And hometowns. That's where what I'm confused is. So we're like, I'm thinking, okay, is it hometowns already? Like, are people we going to Minneapolis because we're going to hometowns? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. But that's pretty much it from the episode. There's not really anything else I think that we haven't covered. Overall, I just thought this was like kind of a boring episode, except for like the last 10 minutes where there's some like beef going on between people, but even that was like cringy beef. Like, it was just like, it was interesting, but not, I don't know. I just thought this was like an average episode to me.
I will agree with you. I will definitely agree with you there. Because Kemi's not here, we were going to do agree to disagree, but I feel like there wasn't really enough like of an oomph for us to do our agree or disagree segments.
I agree.
So if anybody who has not watched the show, we do have segments on Girl Let's Agree to Disagree, where it's called Agree to Disagree. And so we agree or disagree on certain comments or certain things that happen on the show. This was kind of lackluster unless anybody else has like an agree or disagree comment that they would like to share. However, we also said that we were going to just do a couple minutes on just the latest news from Bachelor Nation in terms of just like anything that may be happening within the Bachelor Nation this past week. I know it's usually a slow week, right? So I'm trying to figure out if I can remember.
I don't think anything in particular happened. There were lots of like Bachelor Nation people who ran the New York City Marathon. I thought was like cute.
Super cute. So Joe, for those who don't know, he was part of Claire and Tayshia's season. Dr. Joe, anesthesiologist, one of my favorites. He actually ran the marathon in a little over 3 hours, and that is insanely fast.
Yeah, he did do super well. That was one. And then there's Tyler Cameron and Matt James, and then Tayshia and Zach did it. And
the whole old Zach. It was Tayshia's first. It was Tayshia's first one. And she looked super adorable doing it.
Of course.
And then we also had a little bit of for those of you who do or don't watch podcasts, I know that Caitlin Herman, who is a previous Big Brother house guest from season 20, she has her own podcast. And she had Greg from Katie's season on her podcast and talking to him about his time on the show. And that was a very interesting podcast.
Sorry.
Tell me.
Get out.
Wait, is that why you were moving? Is that why you were moving the camera?
Yes, because he just opened the door, and sometimes he walks around without like pants on. So I'm like, what are you doing?
No. I mean, I've seen him with really short shorts
hey, Jessica,
on.
I can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, go away.
Everybody, tell him everybody's saying hi.
You want ice cream?
No.
Hi, Jessica. Love Jessica.
What did he say?
He said, hi, love you.
Oh, tell him I love him too. Can't wait to see. Tell him, can't wait to see you on Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
So B-Bean was funny. He said Joe Park was so fast he had a patient waiting for him. That was a funny little joke. Yeah. Everybody said hi to Obi. Fun little thing. We get to see each other next Wednesday, right? Hannah, Kemi, myself. At a Survivor, one of those Survivor watch parties in Philly.
In Philly.
I've never been to Philly. Philly, this is going to be Kemi and I's, for our second Survivor trip in Philly. The first one was so much fun. But we always have so much fun at those Survivor watch parties.
The Survivor events are really fun. But yeah.
We get to meet all of them, and with Wendell, yes, correct, Christina. With Wendell and Bryce they've become really fast friends, like to the channel, to us, and they're just such great guys. I love them. And then I think we're staying a little bit later to celebrate one of the Big Brother to celebrate with the Big Brother 23 cast. So we get to meet a little bit of that, like a few of them as well, because they're going to be in Philly that week too. So we just decided to stay. So it'll be nice. We'll have some good quality content, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think that'll be really fun.
If you all just follow all of the shenanigans. If you want to see what we're all doing, again, just follow us on all of our social media channels, because we'll all be posting. But I mean, we're also going to do a Bachelorette recap right prior to doing that. So because we do them every Tuesday. So I mean, that's pretty much it. That was like I know that there was something else, but I really can't remember. And we were so exhausted. More so this week than anything because of daylight savings. I know people are feeling it. I don't know if you're feeling it, Hannah, but I don't know where they gave us an extra hour for some reason. I'm just dead.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's getting dark at like 4:30 that does it for me. Yeah, I just can't. It throws my whole day off.
I don't even know how you do it, because by 5:30 it's dark here, and I'm like, it's 5. Like, why is it pitch dark? It's so
here,
crazy.
It's like 4 something.
Yeah. It's like you wake up and you go and it's dark, and you get back and it's dark. I don't understand this whole daylight savings BS. It makes no sense. But yeah,
I think it was originally like done for farmers. I feel like that's what I was taught in school, was that like that was the reason for it, was for them to like have more light in the early hours of the day, for like working and stuff. But that, I believe that was like before farming equipment had like lights on it. So to me, I'm just like, all right, I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's the reason, I feel like that's not a great reason anymore.
No, it's definitely not. Christina, thank you for keeping up. Yeah, Kemi did tell us that she was going to be on Rob Has a Podcast to cover the episode this week. Last week was insane. I wish we could recap it, but for some reason Survivor just terrifies me when you're talking about actually recapping it, because I feel like you can talk about it for hours and days.
Oh, I can't recap Survivor. Like, I don't understand what's going on 90% of the time. Like, I think it's really enjoyable, and I am watching this season, but like sometimes they'll do like the little switcheroos, like what happened last week, and I'm like, wait, what? Slow down. What happened? And the way they like talk in front of each other at the like end of it was crazy.
It was phenomenal. If y'all don't watch like Survivor, there's a lot of crazy twists and things this season, which you can't really follow. It's really, really hard to follow, but I would say do it anyway. There's only like 7. Oh, no. Well, how many? Yeah, there's like 7 episodes, right? It's so good. Blue Bloom Pop. I mean, I'm gonna try. I don't know. I will try my best to like get on, because I'm also like I'm streaming this, Hannah, through Twitch as well. I just started streaming on Twitch last week because I did not know how. I'm like starting to kind of work. I don't know how any of that works. But I actually was playing Among Us with Taryn and some of the Big Brother Canada and Big Brother US people. So I did my first stream while we were playing Among Us, and I had no idea what I was doing. But I am going to work on that so we could start streaming things too. And then I could also probably recap some not Big Brother stuff. Big Brother we do here, but some Survivor stuff. My Twitch is exactly the same as my Instagram and my Twitter. It's J Milagros Plus, pretty much all across the board. So you can just find me there. Anything for you, Hannah?
Mm-mm.
What are you up to? What are you going to be doing other than see and hang out and have a great time with us next week?
This weekend is Ovi's birthday weekend, so our whole weekend pretty much revolves around him. So
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Any like big things, or just no? You're probably not gonna say it because they're, if they're surprised, you probably aren't gonna say it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There'll be some fun things. He's got a lot of his his best friends from like college coming in, like flying into New York to come and like hang out. So that'll be really fun. So that's kind of what we've got going on this weekend. Yeah, that's
Wait, when's his actual birthday?
Monday.
Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, so it'll be quite. So we'll get to celebrate. We'll get to celebrate on Wednesday too. So we'll just get to do a little birthday toast. Oh, I love it. Oh,
if I could buy that, I would not be in this little teeny tiny apartment.
You gotta do what he did a couple years ago and had the little Hot Wheels.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. If that's what you're referring to, then yes, I can do that.
Get him his little Hot Wheels. That's what you gotta do. Oh, that's so great. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in with us. If you haven't already, like the show right now, share it. And send us your comments on the on what you thought was the best part of the show. We'll be here next week on Tuesday, same time, 15 minutes after the show. And yeah, that's all we got for you. Thank you all so much. We love you guys so much, and appreciate